Officials from Iran and the United States are due to hold peace talks in Pakistan. Tehran is making demands before negotiations begin.
All eyes are on Islamabad as the city prepares to host some of the most significant talks in its history.
Times lead story says Keir Starmer has been forced to drop legislation that would hand sovereignty of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. Comes after US President Donald Trump called the deal an act of stupidity and withdrew his support.
Now, the Daily Telegraph continues to focus on the fuel crisis caused by the war in Iran, reporting that half-term holiday flights are at risk of cancellation. Airports are warning that their jet fuel reserves will run dry within 3 weeks unless supplies from the Middle East increase dramatically.
Live from Islamabad, where history is being made today, the highest level talks between the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Their discussions took place in the presence of Pakistani mediators. Earlier in the day, the U.S. delegation, headed by the Vice President J.D. Vance, held a separate meeting with Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. And Iran's delegation, headed by the parliamentary speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, also met the Pakistani mediators.
Good evening. The US Vice President J.D. Vance has met face-to-face with senior Iranian negotiators in Islamabad. It is the highest direct-level talks between the US and Iran since the Islamic Revolution in 1979. The Pakistani Prime Minister said both sides had signalled there were things on which they can negotiate, but there are huge obstacles to overcome. From Islamabad, Caroline Davis reports.
A visit many doubted would happen. Vice President J.D. Vance arrived in Islamabad this morning, red carpet welcomed by Pakistan's army chief. The first hurdle cleared, a long road ahead. Security is tight. To get access to the city's diplomatic enclave, an armed escort to the press centre. Pakistan knows the world is watching how it delivers these talks.
Walking through this convention centre, you can hear people broadcasting in so many different languages, and then right in the heart, all of these screens showing coverage from around the world of what is happening right here in Islamabad. Rarely has Pakistan found itself right at the centre of such a significant diplomatic effort.
These were the first images, sent to the media with the sound removed. The Americans meeting Pakistan's Prime Minister. Then the Iranians. What we have no images of is what happened next. According to Pakistan government sources, all three held direct trilateral talks. With stakes so high, trust so low, and a situation so delicate, the information coming out is deliberately limited. The world is waiting for a sign. Caroline Davis, BBC News, Islamabad.
Well, Israel says it has struck more than 200 Hezbollah targets in Lebanon in just 24 hours. Hugo Bachega is in Beirut. And what's happened, Hugo, since these talks in Islamabad got underway?
Yeah, Christian, it's been a particularly violent day with more Israeli airstrikes, especially in the south of the country. And the Lebanese officials are saying that at least 10 people have been killed. And there have been more Hezbollah attacks against Israel as well. So no ceasefire here and no de-escalation of the situation. Now, there is the prospect of direct talks between Israel and Lebanon. And this is the main hope of the Lebanese authorities, to try to end the war here and try to find a lasting peace in this country. But Lebanon says no talks are going to happen if there is no ceasefire. And Israel says the war against Hezbollah continues. In the meantime, President Trump has said the US has begun clearing the Strait of Hormuz, a key waterway that has been largely blocked by Iran since the beginning of the war. But Iranian media is saying that no US vessel has crossed the strait. So the reopening of this waterway is a key US demand in these talks that are happening in Islamabad.
Hugo Bachega in Beirut, thank you.